Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, but I am coming back to you with a Christmas card. It is now November, so it's probably time that we start making our Christmas cards. I was definitely inspired by Sherry Carroll. This was a design from the Stamptember 2021 release, and I really liked her colour choices. I really liked the layout that she used, so I thought that I would create my own because I was very lucky to have come across this stamp set at the time it was released. So sorry that they're not still available, but you can still get very similar designs from LaLaLand Stamps, who created the stamp in the first place. Be sure to check out their website and see what they've got available. So to stamp these images today, I used the Gina K black amalgam ink. It gives a nice crisp image and is Copic friendly as well. I have another stamp set here that you can see on the page, which I'll try and list some similar stamp sets below in the description, because you obviously can't get this little hippo anymore, but the same with the capybara. It was also part of the Stamptember 2023 release, maybe. I'd have to check that, but I'll try and find some similar designs online and link them down below. I used the XPress It blending card 250 GSM, which is advertised as being specifically for Copic blending, and it is a really nice smooth cardstock. It gave a really nice finish. Really liked using this cardstock, and I've got it there to the left where I sampled my colours as well. I'm using Copic chows. I just got myself a large set of Copic chows, and I really like the small barrel that the Copic chows have. I have very small hands, and I find that I'm just really clunky using some of the thicker markers and larger markers. Let me know in the comments below, what Copics do you prefer to use? Do you prefer to use the sketches? Do you prefer to use the standard markers or the chows? What's your experience using Copics? Let me know in the comments. Okay, that's our colouring and our glitter done. So I am now creating a custom shaker mix. So if you have lots and lots of sequins like I do, again, I'll be listing the sequins that I've used in the comments below, because I use them from a few different brands. The ones I particularly loved were these cool little snowflakes that you can see from the Picket Fence Studios mix, but I wanted to put together some different colours that obviously match my colour scheme, ready to go into the shaker window. What I didn't show here is I actually did make a bit of a boo-boo, and I started to put all of my foam tape down ready for the shaker window when I hadn't even put the acetate down for the shaker window. So I had to pull it up and put all the tape down again, but luckily it was okay. I'm just finishing off the shaker window here on the card front. I could have done an embossed finish on this card front, but I figured I'd use such a strong colour that I didn't want to start to overwhelm the finished shaker. I don't like to get too busy depending what type of card I'm doing, and I find shakers especially, they've already got a little bit going on, and I especially didn't want to take away from our little hippo friend that's going on the front, so I just decided to keep this shaker front nice and simple. And I'm just about to start looking at the layout of the elements to go on the front of the card, just starting with our little stamped hippo. I also die cut on my Silhouette Cameo a little decoration topper. I decided to go for the silver. It seemed to be the best sort of metallic finish to go on this card. I'd already sort of done that soft glitter on the little hippo, so I tried to tie it in that way. And I had this twine. I've had it for quite a while. It was just an expensive Christmas twine that I've kept. I don't keep many twines these days. I used to have a lot of them back in the day, but I've since cut down on because they get used very rarely. So I thought it would be great to use this as the hanger for the decorations. So I'm just putting this into place now. I had to fiddle with it a bit because if I'd been smart, I might have actually put it on first and onto the shaker back before putting it down onto the front. But as it is, you think of these things later. By the way, if you don't already own the Tonic orange handled scissors that I just used, I got them for a really good price from an online store here in Australia. I know that the internet is full of big fans of Tonic and Tim Holtz scissors, which I also own a heap of, but those ones I will link below because they were such good value and they're such good scissors. I think they're even titanium handled, which is great for your foils and cutting really fine, you know, papers and things like that. So definitely check them out if you can. They were really good value. Just adhering my bow to the top of the decoration, and I just had to let it dry for a little bit, put something on the top before I started to put some thin foam squares on the back of my hippo. I didn't want to pop him up too much because I already had the shaker element going on, which makes the card a little bit thicker, so I decided just to keep the hippo with some really thin foam tape on the back, just so that he had a very slight amount of dimension going on. I fiddled around with the placement of this hippo a lot because I wanted him in the right space to balance against where the shaker element was in the middle and the decoration. I did want to keep the card well balanced in that regard, so just making sure he's put down in exactly the right spot. Up next, I have these pre-printed sentiments that I'm going to use on this card, and this sentiment is actually my freebie of the day. I created this sentiment myself. If you're interested and if you would like to receive a copy, please DM me in the comments or leave me a message and I will get in contact with you to send you a digital file for use on your computer. And if you have any questions about how to use it, please reach out and let me know. Just going through the foiling process, these pre-printed sentiments that I have, I didn't know which foil I wanted to use. I didn't know which colour, so I decided to just foil them all in a different colour and see which one foiled best and what looked best on my card. So I'm just cutting down the individual toner foils, keeping in mind that these are foils that are specifically for toner prints and laminator foiling. These are different to your foiling system foils or foil quill foils because they work on different heat applications. Just using my mini mink for my foil application onto the sentiments. And And next we go in for the big reveal. This is always the best part. So this is the matte foil, which is actually a foil from Crafty Critta. It's a lovely foil. It just missed a few spots, a few nicks on the print. Sometimes foiling isn't always perfect. You have to use trial and error to work out what works best. This is a Heidi Swap foil that I've had, and it did okay. It probably didn't work for all of them because I'd pre-printed and cut my sentiments, so that made a difference, but as you can see, this one was definitely my favourite and the one I ended up using. Another Heidi Swap foil. And again, this one just got a little bit caught on the edges, but it wasn't too bad. Just ready to apply some foam tape to the back of the sentiment. Again, it's just a thinner foam tape. I didn't want to go too thick on the foam tape because of the dimension that the shaker already provides. What sort of sentiments do you like to create for your cards? Do you like to foil like I have today using a laminator? Do you like to use a foiling system like from Spellbinders or from some of the other companies? I know there's a few out there. Spellbinders is the one that comes to mind. Or do you like to emboss your sentiments? I, for one, don't mind embossing sentiments, but I find that embossing powder is so messy for me. But the effect is amazing, especially when you can create an amazing background for a card or something, or a really bold sentiment with, especially on a black. I think that's where embossing powder really shines. Popping up my sentiment. Again, just trying to line it up exactly. Just applying the embellishments to the front of my card now, just onto the decoration on the hippo and onto the shaker window. It took me a while to find the right colour of embellishment to place onto this shaker. I didn't want to use anything too bright that would again take away from the shaker colours that are inside the card, but these were a little bit more neutral, so they gave a little bit of pop to the decoration, that real sparkle. And this shaker card is nearly done. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, keeping an eye for a lot more videos to come.